Elon Musk, the billionaire famous for SpaceX, Tesla, and
the Hyperloop idea. But is there a better way to travel quickly from, say, downtown LA to downtown San Francisco, or LA to San Francisco? There's a special case of cities which have a lot of travel between them. I think the Hyperloop would be useful. I know that there are various companies that are trying to create the Hyperloop, and honestly, I think it's a lot easier than people think.
The blueprints are pretty complicated.
Well, blueprints are always kind of complicated, and I mean, yes, there's math, but it's really not that hard.
It still sounds pretty complicated, Elon.
It's like a tube with an air hockey table. It's really, I swear, it's not that hard. It's not that hard.
did you know where it is now? Yes, Hyperloop 1. One of the company working on this futuristic concept ceased operations on December 2023. And similar companies that are working on the same idea are struggling, and yet to break the theory and make it a practical application even after publishing the first white paper 10 years ago. I mean, this is not out-of-the-box idea that Elon Musk came up with when he published a white paper about it. This exact same thing has already happened in the second half of the 20th century. Have you heard about the French Aerotrain? It was this brand new, ultra-fast, air cushion-based train. Because back then, you were allowed to call these things trains, which promised to revolutionize transportation. Grandiose plans were made, working prototypes were built, and then fast forward a few years, and no one was talking about it. And why was that? Well, because maglev technology was gaining traction, and it promised to be much more efficient than the air cushion tech. Now this was in the 1970s. We don't see too many megalabs around, do we? Well, first off, it's expensive as hell, and profitability is questionable at best. So, why did the Hyperloop fail? Well, there are a number of reasons why this concept won't work in reality. But I have filtered out 3 major reasons why this idea will not fly, like literally. Cost, safety, and logistics. Think of this as needing a Uncle Scrooge money vault just to get started. Building those super long, near-perfect vacuum tubes is like crafting a giant, expensive straw. And don't forget the fancy pods that zoom through them. They're basically miniature spaceships on a budget. Adding to that, the stations, pumps, and entire infrastructure needed to make it all function. And now you have a recipe for cost explosion. Here is a banana for comparison. The fastest train in the world, maglev, costs around $60 million per mile. Let's say if you consider building a maglev train between Los Angeles to San Francisco, it would cost you roughly $21 billion. But according to white paper published by Elon Musk, it would cost merely $6 billion to build a Hyperloop tunnel from Los Angeles to San Francisco for 2 one-way tubes. So, how come a maglev train in a vacuum tube costs 3 to 4 times less than the actual maglev train?
These are the estimates for building this tunnel.
$5 billion, is it?
Yep.
A few moments later.
Boss, we have a problem.
What is it?
It would cost much more than expected.
Huh, how much is it?
$20 billion.
What the f***?
Also, the ROI is not clear at this point. Even the super fast trains we have today are burning significant amounts of money to keep the operations afloat, and there is no clear sign on when they are going to be profitable. So profitability is very doubtful in case of Hyperloop. Keeping claustrophobia aside, imagine being in a pod racing through a tube at hundreds of miles per hour. What if something goes wrong? How do you pull over to the side of the vacuum? How do people get out safely? And what if 2 pods accidentally bump into each other at super high speeds? Also, there is a chance of people getting fainted when the train reaches speeds of sound and has to take a slight turn. Remember that Hyperloop is meant to solve the congestion problems in popular cities, which means the tunnels have to dig in the middle of the city to be effective, which means you have to stop or redirect the traffic while building so. Causing more traffic while solving traffic problems? Sounds paradoxical already. Let's just say you got the approval. You also need approvals from landowners to send giant tubes at breakneck speeds right under their nose.
Hey, do you like Hyperloop?
Yeah, what is it?
You are so lucky. You got the chance of being part of something incredible. We are building a Hyperloop tunnel right under your house, and we need your permission for that.
Wait, you mean building this giant ass tube right under my house, which can travel up to speed of the sound?
Yes, exactly.
No.